Hello, this is Sula speaking, and you're watching a commentary video on League of Legends. League of Legends is an online player versus player game that pits teams of 5 against one another. It's free to download and free to play. You can spend money to get some extra features, but the game itself is actually free, and I'll be including a link to it in the comment section of this video, so you can go check it out if you want. I'll be doing this video based on the assumption that you have never played League of Legends before. I'm trying to get some different people interested in the game who have not played it before. So if you are familiar with the game, some of this will be old hat. You may not want to watch this video. It might be boring to you, but I think it'll be useful for people who haven't played before. So I'll go through some of the basic game mechanics, that sort of thing. Here on the loading screen, you can see the team set up. Teams of 5. You can see our 5 champions here spawning on the bottom location of the map. I am playing as Zilean, who is a support champion, and I'll go through what his abilities do a little bit later on. I'm also playing this game with Earthstrike, who's playing as a Mumu, tank-based character, and so we'll be taking the top lane here together. We will be chatting on TeamSpeak throughout this game, and the other 3 players are random players that we just happen to get matched up with. We didn't know any of the other players. Now, some basics about League of Legends. It's a team-based game. It's based on the Warcraft 3 mod, Defense of the Ancients, for anyone who might have played that game. I never played it before, but League of Legends is its own game that's added some new things. The idea is that you want to take down the other team's base. It's in the far top right corner if you look at the minimap. Each side starts out with 11 towers that are very strong in the early game. They're difficult to take down. They can kill the champions very easily at the start of the game. So you'll need to kill different minions and level up your character. Once again, this should be familiar to anyone who's played Warcraft 3. And as the game goes on, you'll get much stronger. Now, right now, there's nothing going on, but at the 1 minute 30 second mark, our Nexus, our base, will spawn little minions, and from there on out, all throughout the game, our Nexus will be spawning little minions that will run out along these 3 lanes. If you look at the minimap in the bottom right corner, you can see that there are 3 clear lanes, top, middle, and bottom. And now the minions will spawn. They're the little green dots on the minimap, and they'll keep venturing down the lanes, and they'll keep doing that until one of us wins. Now, the way that you level up your character and get stronger is to kill the minions that come out. The idea is to make your character stronger and eventually take down the towers of the other team. And of course, the other team has their own minions, and they have their own champions that'll be trying to stop you from doing that. So now we can finally get started. The game has gotten underway. Here you see our minions are engaged with one another. What I've done is used Zilean's first skill, which is Time Bomb, that you can see down at the interface at the bottom. This is his Q skill. All the champions in League of Legends have 3 normal skills that are bound to Q, W, and E, and then an ultimate that's bound to the R key. I will eventually have access to my ultimate, but you actually cannot start using your ultimate until you reach level 6. So I'll start by going through the abilities that Zilean has. As I said, Zilean's a support champion. He has 1 offensive skill, which is Time Bomb, the one I put my first point in. Time Bomb does quite a lot of damage in the early game. If you can place it on enemy minions, you can place it on enemy champions. Does a lot of damage, as I said, but also tends to be fairly mana intensive. Uses up a lot of your mana. That's the blue bar down at the bottom. So you have to be a little bit careful about how often you use it. Now, we've just reached level 2, and I put my second point in Zilean's W skill. This is known as Rewind. What it does is anytime that I use Rewind, it will decrease the cooldowns of Zilean's other skills by 10 seconds. So if you notice, anytime I use Time Bomb, for instance, I'll put one, well, I was about to put one on the enemy champion there, but he managed to get out of range before I could use it. Anytime that I use a skill, it will have a cooldown associated with it, as you'll see whenever I get a chance to lay down a bomb. So here I lay down a bomb on Tarek, the enemy champion. Now, as soon as that happens, I have my Time Bomb skill goes on cooldown. What I did there was immediately use Rewind, which cut off my cooldowns by 10 seconds and allowed me to immediately place a second bomb. This is known as double bombing a character with Zilean. It's his basic combo. So you can do quite a bit of damage if you can land a double bomb on someone, but it's also very mana intensive to do so. Now, you might also notice that anytime that we kill an enemy minion, like right there, you get a little explosion of gold. This is known as last hitting. If you are the one to actually kill a minion, then you get gold for it as a reward. This is a basic skill to playing League of Legends. It's something you want to be doing. You want to last hit as much as possible so you can get the gold reward. So right there I get the 23 gold. So you want to last hit as much as possible. You don't want to be auto-attacking the minions early in the game. So you see right now, both Earthstrike and I are not attacking the minion, and so Earthstrike attacks so he can last hit the minion. Now, we're being harassed here, of course, by the other two champions. The one in blue is Taric, who is another healing and support champion. The one in dark blue is Evelyn, who is a stealth champion. There I get off another bomb on Taric. Taric is a pretty good champion. He's pretty popular, even especially in the high-level games. Evelyn, not so much. She's a stealth champion. That is, she can go invisible, but that's sort of her only one trick. And when she's not invisible, she can't do much else. Now here I chase Taric because he's about to die, but I make a mistake and I run in and I get killed. And yes, that was a bad play by me. I have no pretensions to being an expert at this game. I've just played over 100 games. I know that I'm not great at this game. I know I'm not the best. You don't have to tell me that in the YouTube comment section. So that was a mistake. I shouldn't have charged in there. That's known as tower diving. You don't want to tower dive. It's a mistake. I would have killed Taric, however, if he hadn't had heal as his summoner ability. He actually used it right there, and if he hadn't, then he actually would have died there. So not a good move, but not quite as bad as it looks. Now here, Evelyn comes out of her stealth, and Taric comes over to attack, but I teleport back in using one of my summoner abilities, and I managed to double bomb Taric, and so he does actually get killed there, and we can't quite get Evelyn before she gets away. In addition to your normal abilities, you also have something known as summoner abilities in this game. These are independent of the character and can be picked for each champion. They're the same for all the characters, all the different champions. Those are, if you look down at the interface again, they're bound to the D and F keys. I have Ghost picked as my first one, bound to the D key. That allows me to run faster than normals. Very useful skill because it allows you to get away if people are trying to kill you, and also to chase people that are trying to run away when they're about to die. So very useful ability. The other one is teleport, which allows you to move rapidly around the map. You can teleport to any of your towers or to any of your minions. Teleport's not that popular in the real high-level games, but I do like it. I've come to rely on it. I do think it's useful for getting around the map. Like I said, it probably wouldn't work at the really high-level, super skilled players, but for what I'm doing, I think it works pretty well. Here, we move in to do some damage to the tower, but we have to get out of there because Taric comes back. Now, as far as how the tower itself works, the tower will automatically target minions. If both you and minions come up to the tower, it will target the minions first. But if you attack an enemy champion next to the tower, then it will switch to targeting you. So the way it works is, if you're going to try to take down a tower, you want to have minions with you, otherwise the tower will target you. There, of course, I laid down another time bomb, and that one was pretty successful because I managed to hit 3 minions with it. So right here, we can't really charge in there because our minions were about to die. Those towers do a lot of damage. If we just were to go in there right now, the tower would kill us. So you need to have your minions with you normally if you're going to take on the towers. Late in the game, if you've got a lot of really strong champions, you're all close to the max, level 18, then you can tank the towers sometimes if you've got a full team with you. But generally speaking, you need your minions with you if you're going to go out to the towers. Right now, at this point in the game, they're still really strong. Okay, right here, we can't see Evelyn. She's gone invisible again. So one of I did when I went back to the base was to buy something known as a vision ward, and I lay that down there. What it does is it removes the stealth ability. Any enemy champion that's invisible near that ward will be able to see her, so that's a way to protect us from Evelyn. Now that I'm level 6, I've also grabbed my last ability, my ultimate. Zilean's ultimate is something called Chrono Shift. What it does is he wards a friendly champion, so one of the characters on your team, and if they die while he's used his ultimate, they will come back to life again. It lasts for 15 seconds, but obviously the ability to save someone from dying is pretty big in this game, so very useful ultimate to have. So now I can use that in case we get into trouble. His final ability, which I haven't used yet, is his E ability, which is known as Time Warp, and it either speeds up Zilean or an allied champion, or it can slow down an enemy. So basically, it either makes you move faster or it makes an enemy move slower. So it's pretty useful. Now, we're doing pretty well up here in the top lane, but the problem is our team is not doing well on the other lanes. We've actually already lost a tower in the middle lane, if you saw there. The Mordekaiser player on the other team that was in the middle has taken down our tower there, so Earthstrike's having to go down there to take care of it. And now our bottom lane's being pressured bit as well. Now Evelyn there is stealth. She's invisible, but we can see her because of the ward. That allows me to get the heck out of here. I know that they're trying to come and kill me, so I speed myself up, and then I use my Ghost ability, Ghost Summoner ability, and so I'm able to get out of there. If we hadn't had that vision ward there, I would not have been able to see Evelyn, and I probably would have been killed there. So yes, it is a good idea to buy those wards. See, once again there, Evelyn was invisible, but once she walked away from the ward, we couldn't see her. Now that Twisted Fate, one of our characters on our team, is back in middle, Earthstrike's been able to come back here. So we'll be back holding this lane again, trying to farm up as much gold as possible. And if you place those time bombs well, you can actually do pretty well. I wouldn't say Zilean's a great champion for farming up gold in terms of killing minions, but he's not terrible at it either. Right? He's probably somewhere in the middle. We'd like to be able to get a kill on one of these two characters. Right here, Taric uses one of his abilities. He has a stun. So if you saw when he hit me with that, he stunned me briefly. Pretty dangerous ability if Taric uses it correctly, particularly if they bring extra champions over to try and kill you. Now right now down in the bottom lane, there's a big fight taking place, but we're sort of stuck up here. We can't get over there to get involved. Here, Taric stuns Earthstrike, but Earthstrike's able to get out of it with no problem. The problem is down at the bottom lane, our team is getting destroyed. So even though we're doing okay up here, that Mordekaiser is just killing the whole rest of our team. Earthstrike pulls him in here, and Earthstrike uses his ultimate, which freezes Taric in place. That allows us to nail Taric with some of our abilities, and oh, we just weren't quite able to get him down there. It was unfortunate on our part. I had actually been dropping my time bombs on Evelyn. If we had coordinated just a little bit better there, we probably could have killed them both. So not the greatest coordination there. If we had just been a little bit more in sync, we could have gotten them down, but unfortunately that was a failed attempt at a kill.
Member joined.
Earthstrike is going to go back to base now because he's all out of mana, and he actually hasn't been back to base yet, so he hasn't had a chance to buy more items. That's of course what gold is used for in this game, buying more items. Here, once again, I'd like to go over to the tower, but it's just too dangerous to do so. Evelyn will have a chance to grab me and possibly kill me if I try to fight her there, so don't want to fight by the tower. Now, down in the bottom lane, we've lost another tower, and this is not good. We're only 12 minutes into the game, and my side has already lost 2 towers. And there's that Mordekaiser again. He just killed our Malphite. He's just, on a rampage, killing people left and right. I'm alone up here now, and that is not a good fight for me to be in, so I'm going to get out of the way. But now Earthstrike's returned, and is going to try to help me out here. I'm all out of items, though. I'm out of mana here, though, or close to it. And I see that Rise on the other team is pushing our middle lane, so I'm going to jump back real quick, just buy better boots, buy another Vision Ward, and then I'm going to teleport to the middle tower. And as soon as the Rise player sees that, he gets out of there. I double bomb the minions, and bam! I take down about 8 or 9 of them in one go, as they were all bunched up together. This is one reason why I like teleport so much. You can see, if I had not had teleport, that would have been the end of our middle lane tower, and that would have been bad. You don't want to lose. You don't want to lose towers anywhere, but mid especially. The middle lane's always the most vulnerable in terms of your base being attacked. Now here comes Mordekaiser, the guy who's been destroying my team. He's 2 levels higher than me, and Mordekaiser is probably a better champion in terms of damage. Like I said, Zilean is more of a support character, so I'm just going to get out of that fight, and he backs off there, fortunately. Right now I'm sort of waiting to see where I should go next. I'm not 100% sure. Rise is back to mid again. He's trying to push the minion wave forward a little bit. Meanwhile, if you look on the minimap, Mordekaiser is running through our jungle, and I'll talk about jungle in future videos, but not this one so much. So Mordekaiser is running around by himself without any of his teammates for support, and you don't want to do this, but he's so fed up on kills and has so many items that he's actually still winning the fight against all 4 of us. So I come down here to help out. I drop a bomb on him. Our Malphite player is fighting him, and are we going to get him down? I drop another bomb on him, and we get him down. Click on for part 2.